Welcome back guys, it's Matt here, and today we're taking a look at the Google Home Hub. So if you're familiar with Google's other devices, this is the first one to have a screen which makes it visual, so you have the whole new interface and way of interacting with it. So right off the bat, if you swipe down, you have a couple of controls here. You have your media controls. So this is where you want to output your sound and video so you can actually display things on your TV rather than on the Home Hub. So if you want to play some videos and stuff like that. You can also control your smart lights as well as your smart plugs. And a quick swipe up from the bottom gives you a few options. The first one is brightness, even though it does automatically change tone as well as brightness depending on your room. You do have some manual controls here as well. You also have your volume for your alarms as well as your standard response volume. And you also have a button in the middle for do not disturb, so that way it won't actually wake you up in the night or when you're just trying to have some peace. The standard home screen has wallpapers similar to on the Chromecast, however you can change it in your settings to be an actual photo frame and to display your actual family photos from your Google Photos app. If you start swiping across on the actual home screen, it will actually bring out these cards and you can go through it and it will show you calendar events, recommended music, videos, things you want to search, so like recipes, and it will adapt depending on what you're doing with your Home Hub. Obviously, you can ask it familiar things like what's the weather, but this time it will actually show you the weather. So rather than just saying a bunch of information like the high and low for every single day, you can simply take a quick glance and you get all that information instantly. Another really good use of the screen is actually for recipes, because instead of actually just hearing the recipe and trying to remember what it said, you can easily just glance over and actually see the ingredients you need, see how much you need, and it's much more easy than Google speaking it out. Now if you're cooking, you might want to make use of timers or alarms, and you can easily set those manually using the touch display, or you can use the old way of just telling Google when you want your alarm or timer to be for. If you don't want to cook at home, you want to find somewhere nice to eat, you can easily ask Google that, and now it will actually show you how to get there. It will show you the traffic, it will tell you which road you need, and it will also send the directions to your phone, and it will tell you the opening hours of the store. Now there is no standard cable, there's no micro USB like on the Home Mini. This has its own connection type, which simply plugs into the back. Now the color I have is actually the charcoal color, so it's a little bit darker, but there is a lighter gray available as well. There's also a little mute toggle switch at the top as well, so if you want Google to stop listening to you, then you can easily do that for privacy concerns. Now if you want to be quiet but don't want to tell Google, you can actually just go and press the volume rocker on the back to turn your volume down. So maybe you don't want to speak over the top of music because it doesn't hear you very well, or you don't want to disturb other people in the house, then you can easily just use the buttons. Now you can also ask Google to show you some photos from your Google Photos library. You can ask it to sort by location, specific things in the photo, as well as the time, date, things like that. Something that's really nice is there's a YouTube app on the Home Hub, and you can actually not just Chromecast the videos, but you can also go ahead and watch them on the Home Hub. So if you don't want to read the recipes by Google, you can actually just go ahead and watch videos. Spotify is also built in here. You have the ability to scrub through all your media using the touchscreen. You have your play, pause, your skip buttons. It's very familiar to if you were just listening to it on your smartphone. But as I said before, these cards on your home screen will change depending on what you're doing. A new feature is now you can actually ask Google to show you the news, and it will actually go ahead and play your local news rather than just telling you a briefing. And if you're curious, when you go to bed of a night, it won't keep you up because of the bright display, because as soon as you dim the lights, the screen will also dim, and it will also show you a clock as well when you're sleeping. However, that can be turned off. Now the screen isn't the best like I said before, however, I really like the experience. It's got a really nice fluid interface to use. It's not the best touchscreen in the world like your smartphone, but it's more than just good enough for you to get by and to interact with the Home Hub, which is fair enough as most of the time you're going to be using your voice rather than actually touching the screen. But it has no issues hearing you, can't really fault it, and I would highly recommend it. Maybe if it's on a deal, it would be a little bit better to pick up, but it starts off at $149, so you guys can decide whether it's worth it. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Peace out guys.